Give me just 1 second to set up everything here. I'm gonna be sharing my screen. We should be starting by like a minute.
Okay, that works. Take your time. Where are you based?
Houston?
Oh, Houston. Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, right here in Texas. Nice and hot.
Nice. And with COVID, I guess your cases are coming down, so that's a good thing.
I know. It's been something.
Yeah.
Changed emergency medicine forever and medicine period.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so
Wow.
but it's coming down. It's getting much better. It was really, really bad like last month. And you know, I think people are wearing their masks now. So
Yeah.
definitely
Finally.
people are listening, right? So it's kind of hitting home. So for sure, things are getting a little bit better, but we're still right in the middle of it, and
Yeah.
we're hoping that hopefully maybe the vaccine shows up in next year or something, and
Yeah.
or some kind of. I mean, vaccine sounds like the only way we've got right now. I don't really see any drug
Yeah.
that
I
will
don't see
work.
anything else. No. I feel like we're just like throwing different stones, seeing what will work out. But I think the vaccine might be the only thing that can make school go back,
Yeah,
sports and everything to start coming back to normal. Otherwise, we're pretty much grounded for like a while. Like
yeah,
it's insane.
yeah. We're living through history, definitely. All right.
Insane.
Um, I am I'm gonna share my screen so I can introduce our special guest today. Let me just pull up my PowerPoint slide. Give me 1 second. All right, we should be good. Perfect. All right, guys, welcome to today's IMG Roadmap to Residency webinar. We've got a special guest in the building. I am so super excited. Like she's come on the show today to share her awesome journey and story with us. Her name is Dr. Orajiaka. All right, how she matched into pediatrics as an IMG. All right, so remember, guys, anything is possible if you believe in yourself and God, right? Anything is possible. Even the word impossible says I am possible, guys. All right. So just a little background. I'm going to introduce her. Dr. Orajiaka is an IMG from Nigeria who's now a board certified pediatrician practicing emergency medicine pediatrician in Columbus, Ohio. She attended medical school in Nigeria and migrated to the United States for a master's in public health program, and then subsequently doing a pediatrics residency. She has a passion for health education and focuses on pediatric emergency and preventative care, as well as balancing motherhood and medicine. By the way, she's a mother of 3. Oh my
I
goodness.
know.
Uh,
I'm
and
busy.
you should connect with her on Instagram at Dr. underscore Norajiaka. I'm going to spell that out for you guys. Norajiaka. All right. Make sure you connect with her. She's always on IG if you have any questions. She's focused on many passions in emergency care and serving the face of diversity in pediatric education. She's all about lifestyle, balance, life as a Black doctor mom, and as well as encouraging and motivating you to be true to your path. So without further ado, please join me to welcome Dr. Orajiaka to the show today. Thank you so much for joining. I am so pumped for you coming on our show today.
I am so humbled to be here. Thank you. Like you are doing amazing stuff, guys. I feel like I wish I met you, or probably wish I had the resources you're providing now when I started this journey. It would have made it so much like easier and much. I mean, but I'm here. That's the whole reason why people have different stories. It's exciting. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. So tell me about your journey. How did you get here? Just in general, tell us your story.
Okay. So I am one of those that actually thought I was supposed to do medical school in the US. This is like a long story coming. But I'm a first girl, had 2 boys older, and my parents said, no, you do medical school in Nigeria, your brothers have to go first. So I did medical school in UNN, and then got married at the same time the same year that I graduated and moved to Lagos. So did my internship, housemanship, if you know what it is. That's what we typically do after 1 year. So did my housemanship in Lagos, ended up being a year and a half because I had a baby in between. And I ended up deciding to do MPH during the time I was doing housemanship because I realized that there were so many resources we're lacking. There were so many things I could not understand, like why were kids dying? Why do we have enough resources? Why I just wanted to understand medicine from a public health perspective. And that's how I ended up moving here in 2009 to do my master's in public health. And that's the only reason why I came. I had no intention of doing USMLE. I knew I wanted to come back and do residency, but I wasn't planning to do it at that time because like family, I had young kids then. So that was not the plan. So I actually moved to the US and did that, my MPH for a year, 2009 and 2010, and moved back home to Nigeria.
Wow.
But yeah, so I didn't stay here and do exams. I moved back for 3 years. And during that 3 years was when I started doing the USMLE exams and did an observership and then moving here. So I was the one that did like back and forth. And
Wow.
then finally, yeah. So I don't know if you want me to get into when I did the exams
Yeah,
now or
yeah.
just tell.
Tell
Oh,
us. We want to know.
okay,
So,
okay,
like,
I will tell you.
absolutely.
Okay, so like I said, I moved back to Nigeria between 2010 and 2013, and I was working. I was doing public health education, mostly mobile technology, but then I was also doing like clinical, knowing fully well that I needed some clinical practice just whenever I'm ready to start applying. Then I decided to start taking my exams. I started with step 2 CK, because I knew I was out of medical school for, this was probably going on 5 years, and my physiology and anatomy wasn't as strong. So I started with step 2 CK first because I wanted to make sure I didn't take step 1 and then it threw me off balance or made me not want to move on. So I did step 2 CK and pass, and actually did step 2 CS before, but I know you can't do that anymore now. So I did step 2 CK in 2011. Then also did my step 2 CS in 2012, and during the, I think towards the end of the year in 2012, then did step 1. So my scores in step 2 sticking was like 230, but my score in step 1 was pretty bad. I narrowly passed it.
Well,
I
so,
narrowly passed step 1. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna lie to you. Probably one, it was 196. So I narrowly
wow.
passed step 1.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, because I did I mean, I read, was like first aid I used. Kaplan was, it was so hard for me to grab. I did a lot of videos then, but you know, when you're in Nigeria, you don't have access to all those resources. Then I had videos for people sent to me, but it wasn't as if internet was strong enough then. Things you can easily connect, like you can connect now and do those. So those are the limitations I had back then. So my step 1 was not great. But then I moved on. I knew I had to take step 3. So end of 2000, I applied for 2013 application year because I matched in 2014. So 2013, I knew I needed to, one, boost my application. I know I had the MPH, which I kept in contact with my professors because I knew if I wanted to do something, I needed a letter of reference from them. So I always kept that network open. I was letting them know I'm still taking exams. I will need letter at some point because letter of recommendations are supposed to be strong, especially when you're trying to make your applications good enough. So in 2013, I got throughout my whole cycle, I got only 3 interviews. And I wanted to do an observership in pediatrics, but I could not get any observership at the time. I ended up being able to get one in internal medicine, which is I got through my sister-in-law. The brother was a doctor, was internal medicine doc. I said, well, it's better than nothing. I wanted to get used to the system. I wanted to know, just kind of know what they're doing. Even if he writes a letter of recommendation, I know I wanted something from pediatrics, but then to have a feel of the American system. So I came and did observership for 1 year at the same time when I came for one of my interviews, and also did step 3, all in end of 2013, November, December of 2013, because I wanted to make sure that my application didn't have anything missing, like I don't do step 3, or maybe I'm not considered good enough. My step 3 result, I can't remember the score, but 220 something, 230 something was actually good. And so I wanted an application that was good enough for interview. And after all those, my last interview where I actually matched was came in end of January. You know how you say people be patient, be hopeful, contact programs. It came January, and I was like, and this was me all done with the other 2 interviews. I have moved back to Nigeria again, so I had to travel and come back again. I was like, well, like my husband, do you really need to travel? Maybe just kind of make do with what you have. I said, no, for some reason, God, just let me just go. And that was one I matched into.
Wow.
So like I'm telling you, I was, the last interview, the one I moved from, the one I complained about was the one I actually matched into, like the way God just kind of does things. And that's it. So I matched in 2014 and then did my residency till 2015. I'd matched into Harlem Hospital Program, which is affiliated to like Columbia University in New York.
Yeah, yeah, Harlem, yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, so
So
that has
so wait,
been.
wait a minute, wait a minute. Pause for a second. You're telling me that you went back to Nigeria, you were studying for the USMLE with kids?
You gotta do what you gotta do. Like you, if you have to, right? You have to.
So how many kids did you have then when you were studying for boys?
I had two of them. I had to. So my first, because it's 2007 and 2009. So they were probably 3 and 4 at the time. Yeah. Right. No,
And
no,
what
no. Hold on. Four, and they're about 2 and 4, 3 and 5 at the
two
time
and
because they're
four
2 years
year
apart.
olds?
Yeah.
That's so how did you juggle? Because I get that question all the time with parents. We have a lot of parents in our program, and they're always like, it's not easy. How did you juggle two young kids with studying for this crazy exam?
So, like, when you wrote, there was something I think it's a line you always use. Anything is possible if you believe in yourself and God. One, it's about understanding that you can do it. Two, it's about putting in the effort. You have to prioritize. You already know you have to take this exam. Like the back of your mind, for you to do a residency in the US, you have to do USMLE and you have to do good enough. So you have to write it a timetable. What I used to do then was, in Nigeria, I had some help, like people that are helping with the kids. So at some days I would say, oh, I'm going to study from like 9 to 12 and take a break in between. So I would literally leave the house and go to the library. I know that my kids are there, but I know that if I come back and like when I'm with them 100%. When I'm not there, I know I'm studying 100%. Because if you want to study in a room and be helping them, you're not concentrating. There's always going to be that mom guilt of saying, how can I leave my kids and go to the library? Or how can I not do my duties? But you can do it if you can dedicate 100% for like 3 hours to study and then 100% 2 hours to be with them. It's just a matter of figuring out what's your study cycle, what works best for you. Do you study best? And I'm one person that studies best in the morning. So if I know my kids wake up at 9, I wake up at 5 and get a good 4 hours in before they wake up. So then when I wake up and do whatever I want to do with them, get a nap and rest, then I know towards the evening again, I can say, hey, I need to go to the library. So I hit the library and I'm done. There's one place in Lagos then I used to go to all that. They knew me because they were like, oh, on Sundays, she's here all day. And my kids knew on Sunday after church, I had to be gone all day. And they know that on Monday or later in the evening, I am with them 100%. So it's a matter of like, it has to be sacrifices and trade-offs because you have 6 months to, if you say you want to do 6 months of the exam, you have 6 months to get this exam done. Because we don't have a plan and hold to it, it's going to take you longer and you still don't achieve it and you start regretting what you're doing. So I think it's a matter of dedication, planning, and a whole lot of effort. That's what I think it is. That's what
Wow,
works for me.
that is amazing. So here's the thing. You got a 190 something on step one. And how do you think you were gonna match with that kind of score?
So I knew it was a very bad score and I knew I had to get other things. So when I told my letter writers, I know I have an MPH. It doesn't guarantee you into getting into a program. Yes, when you're doing other things, it helps boost your program. But I told them, this is what my step one score. I need a really good letter. I know I worked hard with you guys when I was doing my MPH. Then I also had two attendants in Nigeria who I had worked with. One was a pediatric endocrinologist and the other one was a pediatric cardiologist. I said, I need a really good letter that is going to cover and make sure you can, like, this is what my step one is. I know it's not good, but we have to have a trade. So that's what I told them. So that was one. Two, when I wrote on my applications, like in the errors, I made sure I was highlighting all the things I was doing, like all those volunteering, all those extras I was working, make sure I detailed it because the scores are, they have to be really good. If you have good enough scores and you're not doing your application right, you don't have good enough letter writers, then you may not be able to, they may not see all of what you have if they're just looking at the scores. So I think part of it was like writing out my applications well, like the letter of recommendation, maybe a part of the MPH and the personal statement. So another one, the personal statement, really good. So I never mentioned on my step one. I passed step one as far as I'm concerned, but I highlighted how I was a mother working, but I was able to successfully do this and come back that I'm interested in doing this. So kind of highlight yourself too and what you can do in your personal statement to make them know you're hardworking and you really want this. Because there's so many other things they look at in the application. When you have a deficiency, you want to make up in other aspects of the application too. And that's what I basically did.
So how many programs did you apply to when you apply?
Probably about 20, 30 something.
Oh, 30
Yeah.
something programs?
20 or 30, yeah. 20, it's definitely more than 20 programs.
Wow, that's not a lot compared to what people apply. People apply to 150 nowadays. That's like,
Yeah, so I'm not exact, I don't know the exact number, but I know it's definitely more than that. Like it's nothing, I can't remember the exact numbers.
did you knew you've always wanted to do pediatrics?
So in medical school, graduating, I wanted to do OBGYN, but it was during housemanship, I decided to do pediatrics. After that experience I told you I had that made me go through MPH of a baby, an emergency, that was the setting. I was like, no, I think I like this because I think I will make more impact with kids. That's when I decided to do pediatrics during housemanship.
Okay. Now, Natalie is asking a question. How did you know what programs to apply to, especially as an IMG for you? How did you make those decisions?
So I had some friends, what actually 2 or 3 of my classmates then in medical school who had moved it or doing residency. And they kind of told me like New York is an IMG friendly area. So I should make sure I pick a lot of programs there. They had some programs there in Ohio, then but they were mostly internal medicine. So they didn't have any pediatrics in their program. So I asked a lot. Like I made sure I was keeping in contact with those my colleagues, but and then like I think New York was one place. I think a few programs in New Jersey. I'm not sure about. I think Texas is mostly Spanish speaking. They preferred. So I just kind of did a lot of Google searching, emailed a lot of people, messaged a lot of people. That's what I was basically doing at that point because I'm not sure we had like a full list of IMG friendly programs like we do now. But I was just doing a lot of like networking, contacting, asking. I bugged a lot of people's life because I knew what I was looking for. I was just asking. You can never
Wow,
get missing by asking. You can only ask too much, but you can never get missing.
that's true. You're absolutely right in that. So Frederica is asking, how will you describe the difference between step 1, 2, and 3 in terms of content level and difficulty when you took it?
So when I took it, I knew, like I said before, I was out of medical school for like 5 years. Step 1, I knew had a lot of anatomy, physics. It required like basic science learning, which by then I was practicing already. I was seeing cases, like I'm already seeing cases like the headaches, this and this. So I felt like the clinical aspect was so much easier for me. So step 2 and step 3 were very similar. So they were so much easier for me compared to step 1. So it depends on one, how good you are with science and what type of sciences you like and what level of medicine you are. Because I feel like for those still like, and maybe that's why US the medical graduates take it early, because then that's when they're done with like anatomy and physiology, when it's all fresh in their brain, that's when they do step 1. But that's when step 1 requires anatomy and physiology. So for me, step 2 CK, the CS, and the step 3 was so much easier for me compared to the step 1. I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. It's
Yeah.
definitely more like basic science knowledge for step 1, and
Yeah.
step 2 is more clinical knowledge based. Did they ever ask you when you applied and you got through, the first 2 interviews? What was the thing that stuck out in your mind the most when you actually when you went for the interview, and how did you prepare for these interviews?
So one, when the interviews I asked a lot too. I was asking, especially when I got the 3 interviews I got, one of them I knew someone in the program. So I was asking what are the kind of questions they ask. Are they asking medical questions? Do they just want to know me? Just a whole variety of things. Most of them said some of them just want to know you, and some of them have medical questions. But like it's a wide range of medical questions. I'm not sure which one it will be. So I kind of did like a rehearsal of like, what's about me, what am I doing now, what's my path. You have to know yourself well, and you have to know how to communicate in terms of communicating and telling them like what's good about you, even if you had this deficiency, how you turned it around, just about what's like your good and bad negative attributes. You have to know those answers, because you're not telling them, oh, I'm always late, or I can't tolerate this. You always have to find a way to navigate your negative attribute to make it something positive that they either know, one, you're learning, or you change it to something better. So those are basic questions I knew. And I found some of those questions online too. And then I think the difficult one was trying to figure out what like medical questions they will ask you. I just kind of learned some basic one like shock, but none of the, I was never asked any medical questions, fortunately, in all my interviews. Like none of them asked me any medical questions. So I guess the preparation, I know some places have like online questions or basic things to know, but the basic ones I know you should know is what are you doing now? Why are you here? Why do you like a program? What's good about you? What do you have to offer? Those are basic things you have to know the answers to.
Did you practice with someone, or you just kind of rehearsed on your own, or?
Oh, I practice. I practice with someone. I practice with my husband. I practice with one of my friends who was doing residency here too. Like he just kind of interviewed me a lot of
Oh,
times.
perfect. That's
Yeah.
a good advice right there, guys.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so someone asked, like, what is the number one thing an IMG should have to apply to peds? Like, after you gone through the program, now you're a pediatrician, like, what would you say is that thing that stood out in your mind that if you really want to do pediatrics, this is what you should be doing?
So it's hard to nail down to one thing, but I feel like is this before you make into application or before you even apply? Are you
Before
what
you
is the
apply
person
to
talking?
pediatrics, right? So a lot of IMGs will apply internal medicine, maybe peds and some other programs. But how do you convey your passion for pediatrics? Like, to convince them, like, and maybe you share your story, because you told me that you flew back to Nigeria
Yeah.
and you didn't even get accepted into those two programs that you initially did. And that last one, you had to fly and spend thousands of dollars to fly back over here. Is actually
Crazy.
what got you in, right?
Yeah. So I think the main thing is that you have it goes down because the application is the first thing they see, right? You have to be able to convince them you like pediatrics based on things you're really doing. Like if you're working in a pediatric center, if you're doing pediatrics, it might be research, volunteer work, or you're doing pediatrics like outreach programs. Or those are things that can show your interest in. And then also your letter writers, you have to have pediatrics letter writers. You can't just have like OBGYN, internal medicine, and then you want to apply for pediatrics. It doesn't ring a bell and tell them this person just like added pediatrics as an option. So I had two pediatrics letter writers, and then even the one I got from my master's, because my master was in general public health with like emphasis on maternal and child health. I made sure they included the child health aspect for them to know I am interested in pediatrics. This is what I want to do. And of course, like in my personal statement, like I mentioned, I wrote the things I did with children. I had a lot of volunteering I was doing already. I mean, it doesn't have to be research or whatever. I was volunteering like amongst kids. I had an outreach I was doing with a lot of kids. So those are things that makes them know, yes, this person has a passion to further like education or training in pediatrics.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they're looking to make sure that what you're bringing to the table actually matches the passion for the specialty, not necessarily just, they know you apply to multiple
Yeah,
programs, and
exactly.
they're just like a backup that you're
Yeah,
trying to apply to get into
exactly. Yeah.
to pediatric program. Now,
And actually, for something funny, one of my friends was in a family medicine program, and she told me, "Oh, just apply." She knew I was interested in pediatrics, and when I applied, she said her program director said, "This person is not interested in family medicine." They could tell from my application. She said, I said, no, she told me they're not going to give you an interview. And let me tell you why. They can tell from your application you're not interested in family medicine. I told her, yes, I knew I was not. So they see this from your application. So you have to find a way to make them know what you're interested in.
yeah. So for you, at least you were, so it's not just about your step scores,
No.
from what you're saying. I mean, you had to actually have a lot of things on your application that gets tailored towards the specialty that you truly want to go into. So it's not, so just getting through the boards is just the first step. Now, your
Yeah.
personal statement, did somebody review it for you? Did you hire someone to help you edit your personal statement? How did you go about that?
So I wrote my personal statement. I do a lot of writing. So I wrote my personal statement, but then I had multiple people review it. I had one of my friends I did MPH with. I had one of my mentors in Nigeria. I had probably like 10, 12 people review it. And I started early. That's a good thing. One thing, you have to start writing your personal statement early because you can have one of a million drafts. And then piece by piece, the feedback that they gave me, I took some of them and modified it and now had one. So people, you have to have people review a personal statement and always start early, because you can't expect to send it to me and have me send it to you by tomorrow. It might take me a week to get a good review. That's why I always tell people, make sure you start early to have your first draft. And I have multiple, I just do a lot of writing because I like writing stuff, but I did drafted it myself.
So basically you're saying that even while they're studying for STEP right now, they should start working on that personal statement.
Oh yes, definitely. Even if you're applying this year, applying next year, you can always keep adding stuff to it, but have like an original draft of what it is and then keep adding stuff to it.
That's a golden nugget right there. I
Yeah.
mean, like, so because a lot of people wait until they start applying
No,
before sometimes they're writing their personal statement.
no,
Uh,
you don't get your best, right? Because writing it, it just kind of, you just keep adding stuff to writings whenever it drops in your mind. So you may just have like 5 sentences, just kind of write it in there and leave it alone. By the time you read it multiple times, it starts to make sense and you move things around. It takes me a couple of days to write or weeks to write something. So don't wait. Start now. Save it in a Google Drive or Google Docs or somewhere and just keep adding and taking out. Always start early. Makes it so much easier.
So I guess would be a good segue to talk about, if people who do apply to this dual specialty because they're trying to look for a backup plan, right? They apply internal medicine, peds, and maybe OB or something like that.
Yeah.
So you should start working on those 3 personal statements and finding things that will boost your application in terms of like
Yeah.
volunteer experience, and
Yes.
clinical rotations, observerships that will match those specialty, because the biggest
Definitely.
problem you could run into sounds like you've got all this 3-letter, but then you don't have a lot of substance to back it up.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And the good thing with a good thing with Nigeria is the housemanship we do allows us to rotate 4 months, I mean 3 months, 3 months in each specialty. So if you're interested in OB-GYN, you can highlight your OB-GYN housemanship rotation if that's where you are, and just kind of leave the other ones alone subtly, but highlight what you did then. So that usually gives us an opportunity to like highlight that area.
Because some people think because they train offshore, like a different country, they don't want to talk a lot about it because they think that it doesn't have
No,
clinical relevance. Because I get that all
no,
the time.
no, you should. That's your story. You have to put it out there.
So Frederica asked here, since you've already practicing in Nigeria, what was the transition like during residency in the US compared, like you're comparing that contrast, like how did you transition going into residency?
So it was hard. Okay, let me talk with let me start from the easy one. The part that was easy was like doing blood work and labs, because sometimes we have a whole lot of procedures to do in Nigeria compared to some programs here. So if you're already doing a lot of procedures, that's a good thing. But the difficult one was, I mean, I guess getting used to the EMR system, getting used to some of the ways they do their presentation, getting used to, I was already working in private practice. So for me to like come back again and navigate, and I had like younger people in my program too. So you're getting used to people who like before you say something, they're answering all the questions. And I'm like, oh, I have no idea what I'm talking about. So those were like the whole like imposter syndrome. You trying to figure out, no, I know enough to be here. I know what I'm doing here. So those were the challenges. I mean, it lasted about a month or less, but that was just the most difficult ones, trying to get used to the system, trying to get used to like other people responding before you, trying to get over the fact that you're supposed to be here or not, and also getting used to a completely different place. Because when I moved to the US for the first 6 7 months, my kids were not with me. So that whole emotional like trauma of being away from them, trying to like adjust to like a new place and housing, those are the major challenges compared to like the residency. But it just, I mean, everyone goes about through the same thing, but those were the main things that happened though. But I figured
So
it
you
out.
you came here by yourself. You didn't bring your family with you.
Yeah, for the first 6 months, because like there was no way I was going to come in here and we're all like hustling, trying to get our feet on the ground. I knew it wasn't going to be possible, because either I won't be able to pay attention to them or I won't concentrate in residency. And I wasn't one that wanted to show up and you're trying to figure yourself. People just keep seeing you show up late and all that. So I just had to sacrifice the first 6 months. They moved with me after 6 7 months though.
Wow, that's a big sacrifice
Yeah.
there, right there. I mean, wow. So somebody's asking a question here, and I think Natalia says, "Do you think the system has changed in terms of acceptance to residency? And have you noticed any changes in new pediatric residents compared to your generation?
Um, no, what I'm not sure I understand
So
the
I think she's trying to
question.
find out like if, acceptance into peds, into peds emergency, peds
Yeah,
program has changed over
yeah.
the years, or actually like, any, how you compare is there any new changes in new peds residents compared to your generation? I guess the question is not 100%. I just wants to know if there's any big change that you've noticed since you left residency.
So no, so we're not necessarily, because when I was graduating, the residents that were coming in, there was a lot of, I mean, Nigeria, I did Harlem Hospital. There was a lot of Nigerians that came on too. But I know visa stuff is like changing. I'm not sure how it has affected for this year, but not a huge lot. It's getting more competitive in terms of you have to have your acts, like your scores, your applications have to be up and like very good. It's getting more competitive, but they're still taking people. They're still getting applications, and they're still interviewing people and getting people into residences. No, so not a huge lot. You just have to make your applications good enough.
Yeah, I mean, 61% of IMGs matched this last match
Yeah,
cycle, which is the highest ever in history. So
exactly. Look at
it's
that. So it's getting better then.
it's it's actually, I tell them you guys have a better chance of matching than ever before because of the merger that they did. Did you ever take
Yeah.
the MBME when you were doing the USMLEs, like MBME assessment test?
The U, not the U. I did U World.
You did the UO assessment?
I did U World, yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Did I do the MBME? I feel like I did it for one of them. Maybe either step one or step two CK. I can't remember which one. But I did U World a lot of times.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
Because I'm a question person using questions to review, and they help out a lot. I did like all those question banks. You definitely have to do question banks. I see you have like I was reading a lot of good reviews about your question banks, guys. You have to get into your question banks. They need to get those question banks.
Absolutely. That's, you got to combine your basic science knowledge and clinical knowledge with, testing yourself to actually see if you actually know the information.
Definitely. Yeah.
So overall, I mean, your story is amazing. You actually defined the odds. You were living in another country, Nigeria, came over here, went back, took your boards with children, right? Sacrificed everything, got 2 interviews, went back, and then got a final interview. We're talking by the way, guys, if you get an interview in January, just kind of give you guys an idea, it's usually late in the cycle, right?
It
You're
is.
pretty much,
Yeah.
they've interviewed everybody,
Done.
so you're coming in late. So, like what made you convinced that, you even have a chance of getting in? Like, cause I'm trying to understand like what was going on through your mind, why you're going through this process. Like, were there doubters in your life? Did you ever doubt yourself? Like, man, I've only got 3 interviews, and even this last one is in January.
So like I feel like when I came back, my husband was like, how was the interview? I said, I don't know, but I felt like, so when I walked into that interview, the lady, we didn't talk about anything medical. We talked about what I was doing in mobile health technology, because that's what I was doing in public health. And I was just looking at the woman like, this is my last interview. This is my chance to either blow it or make it. So we were discussing for like a long time. Like when you know that this is either your last chance or you have nothing else again. So we talked and talked. And of course, when you get to the interview, so we can always talk about it. The program coordinator was there. Went back and said, thank you. I had to travel back. I made her know that I was in Nigeria, but I had to come back for this interview to let them know that I wanted to be here, and that's why I made all the sacrifices and came back again. You kind of have to rub it in a little for them to know how important it is to you. So when I went back, I was like, I think I gave it a good shot. Like if you give everything a good shot and you're like, well, this is me playing my part and this is me waiting for God to play his own part, then you can go back and sleep and wait for what he wants to happen. So that's how I took it when I came back the last time. I'm like, this is me wanting to make the best out of this right now, because my whole like one chance depends on this. If God brings me back to get this, then I have to actually give it my best. And that's what I did.
Wow, amazing, amazing. So, I mean, guys, just think about all the sacrifice she's made. Now you're a pediatrician. Tell us how life is now that because tell people what you do now.
Okay, so I work in emergency room, and when you do pediatrics, you can. I like pediatrics emergency. So now you can go to pediatrics emergency after being a pediatrician, or you can do another 3 years of fellowship and be pediatrics emergency medicine fellowship trained and work in emergency. I'm still planning to do that at some point, but you can go there through different routes. So being a pediatrician, I work in emergency. I work in Nationwide Children's Emergency, one of the biggest emergency rooms in children's emergency rooms in the US. And I basically see a lot of kids, sick kids from like what they call acuity 2 to 5. I just can't see one because I'm not PEM trained. And my schedule is I do maybe 3 or 4 shifts in a week, and I have enough time to spend with my family now. I have a lot of time to do like other things I like to do, like reading, like social media education, like mentoring and all that. Those are things I enjoy doing now. I can do, like, I feel like one of the things my dad always told me growing up is work hard now and enjoy later. And those are things I'm trying to remember now, that I know I had to sacrifice all those things then because I knew that I wanted something else. And maybe I'm not all the way where I want to be yet, but this is like, it gets better. Definitely. It gets better with time.
So all that sacrifice was worth it, huh?
Definitely worth it. Definitely worth it.
You know, so when it comes to, maybe it's because sometimes IMGs may not realize the investment. It's a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Going through this process, thousands
It
and
is.
thousands of dollars. What would you advise everyone in the panel before we let you go tonight of, like, what should they be doing? And why is it important to make it all the way through?
So I think first of all, when you're talking about like starting now on like investment to get to where you are, I think one, you should, like, if you want to do your residency, you have to know what you want to trade off. Like if you're buying extra things, like let's do extra clothes and all that, there's some things you have to give up to get to where you want. And then when it comes to like getting resources, like you have a really good platform that is focused resource. We tend to, like, when I was, remember when I was doing exam, like people told me, oh, this Kaplan is good, oh, this other book is good, and you tend to like try to buy different things to make yourself feel better. No, focus on one thing, and dedicate time to it, and make sure that's what you're studying. They already have this platform. Don't go looking for other things and listen to what other people are doing. No, if you want to say 6 months, give that time to 6 months, dedicate that 6 months time. Then you know you won't have to spend extra money to retake it, and that will work for you. And I know it's easy to calculate like the $5 you're putting in to take this exam, but when you're done with residency and when you get a job, and when you start helping other people, and when you remember, maybe you want to go back and give back to Nigeria, maybe 1 month, and you can easily travel and do that extra, it is so worth it, guys. I'm telling you, it's worth it to do all this dedication and planning and spend that extra money. And just look at 3, 4, or 5 years down the line, you will make it back multiple folds as a salary, as like a side hustle, or even as moonlighting. You can make it back multiple. You just need the dedication and putting in the coins now so you can make the papers in future. It is very worth it, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's right. I try to tell a lot of students that the investment, and I always tell them, like, you're lucky if you graduated from another country and maybe you didn't go to Caribbean island and you have your MBBS, and you didn't have to spend $300,000 to in medical school debt. If you went to the Caribbean island, you're going to have that. If you're in the US, you're going to have
Yeah.
that. So, you're actually
Oh,
coming
yeah.
at an advantage.
Yeah, I didn't even remember that. That's true. I have no debt. I Why didn't I? I have no debt. So everything is either my bills or like in my pocket. We have no, so IMG is like when you're matched and you're done, it's like the perfect life, because some of them are making the money and paying, they're not earning a lot now because either they're hustling a lot and paying bills. And so guys, we have no debt. So think about it. It's going to be in your pocket.
Yeah. I graduated with like 280,000, and that's a size of a house, and
Yeah. Yeah.
still paying it off. So just to kind of give you guys a perspective,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. It's a lot.
but I'm almost done paying it off. But it's just you have all the advantage because number one, you have time on your side to study longer, uh, compared to US grads that we spend like 6 weeks or 8 weeks. So you can take
Yeah.
as long as you want. Obviously, you want to take too long. You don't have a lot of debt if you didn't train the Caribbean island, train in the US. And it might sound like it's a lot of money up front to put up $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. But in the grand scheme of things, all you need is one program to match and your life is set forever. I
Yeah,
mean,
definitely.
that, now you're practicing medicine. I'm sure you can afford to buy your kid's toy without having to look down like, oh my God, it's
Oh
another
yeah.
$10 toy.
I know. It makes such a huge difference. Like I get it. Like Nigeria is like is it a bad place now, but guy, it makes such a huge difference. I'm telling you. I can attest to that.
Awesome. Awesome. You know what? I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
You are super awesome. Your story is amazing with all the sacrifice. I think somebody just asked one more question. I'm
Okay,
sorry. I thought
sure.
we, and what
No, it's
about,
fine.
um, so some say, I'm trying to reword the question here. This is by Osman. He said, what about increasing your chances to get accepted by programs? Some say you need to do research or master in public health to increase your chances. Did you think the MPH really made all the biggest difference?
So I wouldn't, so people have asked me that before. Yes, it may have helped, but that's not all that it is. I feel like the networking I did with it, one, and other things with my application, because I know someone that also did an MPH and has been applying for a couple of years and has not matched. So it's different for different people. I wouldn't want you to go spend money to do MPH and then not match, and then you're still trying to take exams and get in. If you have an opportunity to do the MPH, perfect. If you have an opportunity to do research from Nigeria, better, it's cheaper. But I'm not going to say do an MPH because it's an automatic ride into residency. It's not, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, because a lot of people actually have MPH nowadays. So if
Yeah,
you came in,
yeah,
I guess, if you came into the country to come and do an MPH program and you already kind of have your mind set upon it, then I guess it really kind of
yeah,
helps. But it's not, I
exactly,
don't think it makes a break your application than actually getting those top scores and getting all the extracurricular activities
exactly.
that goes along with your application process. How
Yeah.
did you juggle Pete with your children and your husband, your family,
So
your
it even
resident?
gets more interesting. So my husband has always shuttled between Nigeria and the US. This COVID year is the first year he's taking because his business is in Nigeria. This is the first time he's staying like almost 1 year with us. So I've always had a living nanny.
Okay.
So that's always had a living nanny who, when I'm off or when I'm post call leaves, I just kind of stay with the kids. I sleep and wake up in between, have them have food. It was rough. Like it was rough. But I mean, you got to do what you got to do. My kids, I mean, they were getting a little bit older, maybe 5, 7, and then 7 and 9 at some point. So they understood when I needed to sleep and all that. But it was rough. But I had a living nanny or who was mostly there most of the time. Weekends would go. So my weekends are mostly I did everything with the kids or when I'm off. But it's those are times you tell us stories. I can't really remember how bad it was now because I'm done with it. It's one of the things that makes your story more interesting. It would not be juicy or rosy, but you have to work hard for that. It's all part of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time. I know you're a busy
Thank
mother
you.
of three and you've got so much going on. I just
I am so happy to be here. I like it's like that encouragement. We need more. We need you guys. We need more of you here. It always makes it like so much better. Provide the better care and all that. So you can do it. Just feel free to
absolutely.
email me or anything like that. We'll
So
continue.
again, her IG, I'm gonna put her Instagram here. She's always on IG. You can send her a message. I'm gonna put her IG here on link is dr underscore NORAJIAKA. I'm gonna put it here on our page here, and then you guys can, if you want to contact her. Thank you so much, Dr. Orajiaka. I am
Thank you.
so honored to meet you.
I am so happy for what you're doing with all this IMGs. I didn't even know like you were doing all this already. I just kind of found you on Instagram and I'm so happy that I did. I've just been telling people, I mean, why are you not a smart USMLE? You should know what it is. So they have to. You're doing so much and I'm so thankful for that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I appreciate it. Listen,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
goal, I think IMGs, I'm an immigrant. I just got, I got an opportunity to go to school here, but, coming from Nigeria as an immigrant, I know the pains and the struggle that we all go through. And I think we all come in with a unique story and background that we can add to the
Yeah.
American healthcare system. And that's why I need you guys to be here and make sure you match. But like I said, thank you for coming on the show. We're going to let you go right
Thank
now.
you. Thank you.
You have an awesome day. You guys can
You
hold
too.
behind while she leaves, and you can say bye to
Okay.
everyone.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. All right, guys, there you have it. Listen, as you guys can see, right? You know, it's a lot of sacrifice. You know, there's a kind of recurring theme amongst all the IMGs that have come before us and got it done, right? Just think about just transitioning from traveling from Nigeria and coming back and forth, all that money, you know, sacrificing for the children and not being there and, you know, kind of balancing things out. So if you're a mother, you know, I feel for you guys. You know, I got two boys and I know how challenging it can be, but it's all about mindset, right? You've got to put the prize in front of your face every single day. Don't let your eyes off the goals. You can do this, guys. Like I always tell you, you know, I mean, she got a 190 something on 194 and 198 on step 1 and 220s on her step 2 and step 3. And she's been out of, you know, medical school for 5 years before she matched. So this whole notion that, oh, maybe I'm too old, oh, I've been out of school for too long, you need to stop that mentality. Like you have to understand that time and age are just numbers, right? It's all about what you want and how bad you want it. That's all that matters at the end of the day. And as long as you're willing to sacrifice everything for this journey, it is gonna be worth it. All the time, all the effort, all the money. Like you're gonna, once you get that, secure that spot in residency, you're set for life. You're absolutely set for life. And I'm just gonna spend the next probably like 10 minutes talking, you know, for some of you, if you're already part of our program, you guys know I send this out for you guys. This is recorded, so I'm gonna put it on our SmartMD WhatsApp group, and so that you guys can, if you want to watch this on a later date, because I think she shared a lot of awesome nuggets, right? Some of the things she talked about of how to just, you know, not just sacrificing, but kind of looking at the big picture, you know, understanding the process, networking, right? You can kind of see like this recurring theme. It's all about who you know, continue to try to network with people. I bring on all these people for you guys because, and I tell you that I Instagram or how you can connect with them, because this is how you network with doctors. This really doesn't, it's not that difficult. You just say, hey, listen, I saw you came on Smash USMLE Reviews webinar. Do you know anybody in your department where you graduated from? And these people might be able to get a word in for one of the residents and say, hey, listen, I've got someone who's interested in the program, and they will give you the right person's number or right person's emails. So that's a perfect opportunity for you guys. So don't just come on the show, you know, use it as an opportunity for you to actually be able to network with other people. That's why I invite all these people. Like I'm going to try to bring as many IMGs to our show. Do not just share their story, but, you know, and if you guys always have a question, right? If you want me to reach out to any of them, if you don't have my email address, I think most of you guys do. Let me put it up here. It's Dr. Adesina at ftplectures.com, right? And it's just one of our guests that's come on the show, and you need, you know, me to reach out to them on your behalf, and you want to be able to reach out to them, absolutely, feel free. Just send me a message. I'll reach out to them and say, hey, listen, I want to do a rotation at your place, or is there an opportunity for observerships, or do you know someone that you know, can help me? You know, and this is how you benefit from the program, you know, because and you never know, right? It could work out, it could not work out, but you know, this is the opportunity that you guys have. Okay. I'm just going to spend the next about 5 or 10 minutes talk about the program, because I think some of the students are not part of the program yet, and they're wondering what is still holding you back. You have a platform that didn't exist 5-10 years ago, which is Smash USMLE, right? People are like, wish they had it. And you probably noticed that a lot of our guests are saying, listen, so you create a program like this, not only just for people to study, but you actually talk and ask questions and network with people, like, and be on a platform where everybody can benefit from all these stories. Why are you still holding back? You know, like, so for you, if you're still on the fence, listen, you are missing out, okay? Let me tell you how our program works. We offer 2 USMLE plans. We have a step 1 and step 2 CK course. We have a 4-week live hybrid USMLE step 1 and step 2 CK masterclass. All right, the ultimate bundle plan that has all the systems included. Plus, you get the self-paced course in addition to it. Or you can do the self-paced course, which means you just log online and study on your own. And we have a step 1 package and step 2 CK package. And that course comes with a pre-recorded 94 hours, additional hours of master classes. And, for our self-paced, we have a 3-month, 6-month, and a lifetime plan. And so you probably say, what do you get? Listen, you're going to learn our proprietary SmartMD training program. And SmartMD actually stands for S is for strategy, where we teach you how to prepare for the USMLE, how to dissect USMLE questions, how to study daily with your own personalized schedule. And M is for mastery of the clinical content. We have tons of video lectures on our platform that will simplify your life. So we use our USMLE lecture videos with high yield concepts on the USMLE to teach you the knowledge you need to master. Okay, we're all about mastery, not memorization, mastery. And then we give you clinical knowledge content, which is assessment of your clinical knowledge, where you test yourself. Thousands of questions on our platform for you to practice with. And then finally, we not only show you that, we also teach you how to dissect those questions. So it's a complete different strategy and a technique that we teach, which is unique to our program. And finally, we have about almost 12,000 flashcards of high yield content between step 1 and step 2 CK, where we teach you how to use your flashcards and review things after you've completed the QBank and also our video lectures. And finally, you get access to our T, which is our test day taking skills. All right. We give you the whole entire package. We're going to teach you how to avoid mistakes on the actual exam and how do you get ready on the test day and everything you need. So when you walk into that exam, you are absolutely ready. So step 1, once you sign up for the program, you check your email and you fill out our coaching application form. Then you book your personal coaching call within 48 hours, literally that quick. And if you got a 3-month package, you get 1 hour of free coaching. Listen, most programs that offer coaching charge you $250 an hour just to get a coach. You get it for free, literally. And if you get a 3-month package, you get 1 hour free coaching. If you get a 6-month plan, you get 2 hours of free coaching. If you get the 4-hour plan, you get, you get the lifetime package, you get 4 hours of free coaching. Okay, that's a value of $1,000 on its own. Your USMLE coach will contact you to book your first discovery call on Skype. Now, this is what our coaching usually looks like. You're in your home, literally. One of our coaches will log on to Skype and they will walk you through the program. And here's what your coach is going to do for you. They're going to help you review your MBME score report. They're going to help you set your target score if you want to take over 240, 250, or 260. And we're going to help you determine your strong and your weak areas on the USMLE. There's actually a technique to be able to do that. And then we do a detailed self-assessment profile report about you. Every person in our program is unique. You may be married, have kids, single, working, full-time, part-time, right? It does not matter. We've seen it all right? And then we teach you the correct strategies on how to study for the USMLE exam. And then we complete a personalized study schedule based on the resources you have in conjunction with ours, and then give you an actionable plan for a future meeting. Then we follow up with you. Your coach literally will follow up with you in a month or 2, depending on what your plan is, and to monitor your progress throughout the entire program. So you are never alone, right? If you compare that to Kaplan and maybe other programs out there, there's nobody that's supporting you, right? There's no one for you to ask questions for. Nobody's checking up on you to see your progress. You're just kind of in the dark by yourself. Then we are going to use your future MBME score report to recommend changes to your USMLE schedule as needed. And finally, step 3, you're going to join our SmartMD WhatsApp group. The students that are in our SmartMD WhatsApp, they know how amazing the group is, right? Because there you're going to have support, right? There's over like 300 or 400 IMGs doing exactly what you're doing right now. And you can ask any questions, right? When you guys get a UWorld QBank, you cannot email anybody at UWorld to be able to ask them questions if you're stuck, right? Now, if you're doing a question, you just post it in our group, and in minutes, people will answer your question. Now, here's also what you get. You're going to get daily USMLE questions to challenge your USMLE knowledge. You're going to get daily answers and explanations for the USMLE questions, 24/7 support to answer any USMLE related questions. So if there's anything that's new updates about the USMLE residency, you are getting it live directly from our group. And then you can get a USMLE study buddy from our student network. We do a weekly hump day now. The students gather together, and while they're studying, you can bring your questions to the hump day, and literally people will actually answer your question for you. I mean, there is nothing better than that. Like, you're in your home and you have access to this vast network where that you can get things done. And then you also get access to our monthly private USMLE webinar, something like this, where we invite people on the show and you can ask questions. You can hear the story to motivate you to get to the next level. And finally, you get also motivation videos from me directly. I'm going to push you to become better, to study. When you're tired, we're going to give you tips on what you can do to overcome that. And finally, you have access to me, right? I am committed 120%. You can ask any of my students in my program. I am committed, and my team is committed to you to support you to succeed on the USMLE. And then step 4, you start our SmartMD training course. All right. After your call with your coach, you're going to watch our SmartMD training course at smashusmle.com and learn how to study the right way for the USMLE with our SmartMD course. You work this short series of videos. It teaches the correct strategies. So whatever you're doing that's been doing wrong, even if you failed step 1 before, listen, it doesn't matter. Listen, we're going to show you the right way to do it. And then you're going to learn how to understand these clinical vignettes for the USMLE and learn how to start your pre-dedicated or pre-intensive mastery period that we usually call it here, and how to start your dedicated USMLE study periods and when to transition from one to another. You're also going to learn how to dissect USMLE questions. We're going to teach you how to use your first aid for the step 1. And if you're studying for step 2 CK, the book we give is our Yale G First Aid Crush USMLE step 2 CK and step 3. This book is the best book ever written for step 2 CK, and a lot of students don't know about it. You get it for free when you join our program. When you get to, when you actually sign up for the course, you're going to get access to our content, all right, which is where you learn the mastery of clinical knowledge, right? We update our lectures every year to reflect what's the new changes in first aid for step 1. And if it's for step 2 CK, we do, all right? It's over 700 videos. That's so simple. That's so easy for you to learn. Almost 99% of what's in first aid. You can see here, here's one of the comments from one of the students. She said, I totally agree with you, Dr. Adesina. One of the greatest things you have done at your smashusmle.com videos is breaking down the concepts in such a way that even a layman on the street will understand this medical jargon. I mean, that's just phenomenal. That's a student who took our course, right? And this is how easy this is going to make your life. The videos are so simple. Then you can flip through your first day while you're studying, pull up whatever section. Let's say you're doing urea cycle. You literally go to the website, click on amino acid section in biochemistry, for example, and you can see how long the timing is, all right? They're usually very short, 16 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. They're very, very short, easy to get through. And here, when you click on the link, you get to see the video and you see the reference in first aid. And we updated it for 2018, 19, 20. So you know exactly what page we're teaching you from, and then you can go and follow your first aid. I know a lot of people hate first aid, right? You're like, I have no idea what I'm reading. Don't worry. I've done all the work for you. By the time you watch the video, you're like, oh my God, that was so easy. Okay. For step 2 CK, this is the book, Yale G. We're going to give you the latest edition. We have the 6th edition now. This was the 5th edition. All right. So if you're studying general surgery, right, you just literally go to general surgery, click on thoracic trauma, and boom, you can watch the video. Okay. And for our 4-week live hybrid masterclass, I am so excited about this course. There's nothing like this on the market. Like, we are the only company in the world right now that's offering a 4-week live hybrid USMLE masterclass. So you guys are like, what is that? I want to know. Oh my God, tell me. Listen, every day from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Eastern, all right, we have a class going on. It's for 4 weeks, 31 days. It is intense, but it is exciting. I literally take cases and then I start explaining them to you literally the way you're supposed to learn them. So literally, they're like super, super high yield stuff that we talk about for step 1 and step 2 CK. And we go through cardio, endocrine, GI, neuroscience, renal, biochem, biostats, respiratory. I mean, literally. And at the end of 30 days, your brain is going to explode. You're going to be like, oh my God, this is so awesome. This is the best thing I have ever attended. Everyone that attended a masterclass, their life changed, right? They never saw medicine the same way again. Now, after each class, you're going to have to do questions, right? So I make sure you do quizzes at the end of the class. All right. We record the video for you and the audio, and you can download it. You can watch the video online after class is over, and then you do your quizzes. So by the end of 30 days, you've gone through 1,200 questions. Oh my gosh. Like, it is so intense. It is so much fun. All right. So at the end of the course, you also still get access to those videos. And you get access to those self-paced lectures that's already on our website. And you get a certificate of completion. So a lot of people will come to our program and say, Dr. Adesina, hey, listen, I go to a Caribbean medical school, and they're always asking me, like, if I go do a course online, will I, am I going to get a certificate? Absolutely. You get a certificate, you download it, your name is on it, all right? And then you give it to your medical school. So you can check a sample out at smashusmlereviews.com. All right. So this is what I meant about getting access to the masterclass videos, the notes and the audios, the quizzes, all right? And you get with each USMLE lecture notes, right? We have our detailed notes you can download on our website, right? They're much more detailed. And then you get access to our question bank, right? You know, we got 2,200 step one questions, over 2,000 step two secret questions, and we keep adding to it every year. This is where you apply all the knowledge that we're going to teach you from the video lectures. These questions are top rated, written by our USMLE physician experts. Finally, let's talk about R, review, repeat, reinforce, right? So we got about 10, actually, I need to update that. That's 10,000 step one flashcards. It is amazing. Like literally each section, it used to be like 1,500. We just updated our flashcards. It is freaking phenomenal. Over 1,500 step two CK flashcards also. So you can kind of review things last minute as you learn to reinforce your knowledge with everything you learn over in the program. And finally, this is our test day taking strategies. So you get the exam day retro ebook, all right? The top 20 things you must do before you even sit for the USMLE. This is a magic. It's like the exam day secret webinar and the free ebook. Listen, I spent 2.5 hours going through everything you need to know before you take the exam. Most programs, they will not even tell you what you're supposed to be doing on the exam day. We don't do that. We take it from point A to Z. That's how we do things here. And you're supposed to know all these things. They're like little secrets. Like, what should I do when I walk into the exam hall? Like, what should I be doing 15 minutes before the test? Like, what formula should I be writing that? Everything is all in this webinar. Like, even what should you be doing the day before, the food you should, I mean, like, it is just so packed. You need to check it out. It is phenomenal, right? Now, we have a 97% pass rate on the USMLE. People are like, what? You got 97%? Yeah, because we work with you until you hit your target USMLE score. And we do not let you take the USMLE until you hit your score. That's how we do things. We will tell you, listen, when you're about to take your exam, you're going to meet with your coach in our program. And after that, you are actually going to get certified and your coach will tell you you're ready or not. If not, we're going to push your exam dates and we're going to work with you to boost your score. All right. I just had a student, I got to share this story. Her name is Taylor. She failed step one and she joined our program 3 months ago. And she signed up for, with the course she was studying. She started doing tutoring with us, including coaching. And in 3 months, she jumped 32 points and she's crushed the exam. And I am so happy for her. Like, in 3 months amount of work, she went from failing step one and finally just passing. I called her like a few days ago. I am so happy for her. That's the kind of things. And I met with her before she took the exam. And you know what? She's so happy right now. All right. So here's what you get with our Smash USMLE review course. For the 4-week live hybrid USMLE masterclass, you are going to get 19 subjects covering online USMLE Step 1 and Step 2 CK Masterclass course, 90 hours, about a value of $4,997 value. You get 1,200 USMLE Step 1 practice quizzes. That's another value of $997. You get 2,000 USMLE Step 2 CK online Q bank. If you opt in for our Step 2 CK program, it's separate, right? They're not together. That's another $997 value. You get access to First Aid, latest edition, and you get access to our SmartMD training course, all right? Which is that's almost like $1,997 value, that course alone, to train your mind and show you how to study. Then we give you sample schedules that you can download, tweak. I mean, your coach is gonna work with you one-on-one anyway. We have a 6 weeks, 12 weeks, we have 6 months, 3-month schedule. It's a $97 value. You get that also on our website. Plus our lecture notes. We got about 1,800 pages of lecture notes with a value of $497. Exclusive access to our VIP SmartMD WhatsApp group. So as soon as you sign up, you're going to get an email, click on the link, you get the access into our SmartMD WhatsApp group. That's a $2,997 value. The amount of value you're going to get from being part of our group, our club, it is phenomenal. Like, trust me, everyone in the program, they feel like they're no longer alone because, most people are studying from home and they feel like, I'm just doing this by myself. Okay. And then you get daily tips from me. I'm about to post a daily tip after this webinar into the group tonight. And what I'm about to share, it's like, oh my God, it is so, so awesome. So whoever's in the group, just watch out. After this webinar, you should be getting that video. You're going to love what I'm about to say because this is amazing. All right. And then you get 24/7 email support. That's another $997 value. Now, there's more. Wait. You're going to get access after the 4-week hybrid live masterclass course. You get access to my self-paced course, which means if you want to study endocarditis, right, you can just go on the website and learn about endocarditis in one sitting. You want to learn about atrial fibrillation. It doesn't matter. That's about 708 videos, 220 hours of USMLE Step 1 and Step 2 Seeker video lectures. The value of $4,997 value. Plus, you get access to our full Q bank. Private coaching call. Like, if you've never been coached before by one of our coaches, all our coaches, by the way, they go through a rigorous, extensive training before they can even become a coach. And their average is between 240, 250, and 260 on the USMLE. So these are the top of cream of the crop that's going to be coaching you and showing you how to study. That's a value of $997 value. Plus, you get access to our USMLE Prep audiobook. All right, that's $120 value. You get a YoG First Aid Crush USMLE Step 2 CK book. We're gonna mail it to you. If you're living in the US, you get it for free. All right, but that's a $57 value. If you're international, you have to pay for shipping only. That's it. And then you get instant access to all our USMLE flashcards. That's about another $297 value. Our How to Prepare for the USMLE ebook. That's a $297 value. I mean, there's just so much we give you in the program. You get a bonus, right? The audio masterclass, which you can listen to in your car, at the gym. Like, that's $997 value. You get my ebook, which is the Exam Day Rituals ebook. It's a $97 value. And a third bonus, How to Dissect USMLE Questions webinar. All right, 2 hours, literally showing you how to dissect USMLE questions, $597 value. And I'm gonna throw in one additional, like the USMLE Exam Day webinar, $297 value. That's just a total value of $16,797 for this 4-week live hybrid masterclass. And the same thing when you actually get our self-paced course, it pretty much contains everything. The only difference is you're gonna get the 94 hours of the previously recorded live USMLE masterclass. The book value is gonna be $16,797. But wait, we're not gonna charge you $16,000. That's just the value of what you're getting. When you sign up today, you can get started for either of the packages. For the 3-month plan for $597, that's it. And for the 6 months, it's $797. The lifetime package is only $997 for a lifetime access. You can go right now to smashusmle.com, like literally go right now and sign up for the course. There's nothing you're waiting for. We've got testimonials after testimonials. If you go online, you can see all our testimonials on our website. Students are raving about the course. There's a reason for it. We give you so much value. We invest in you so much. Like, when I say we are completely different from every course out there, I really mean it. And you need to experience the difference yourself. Like, we literally commit to your excellence, and we want you to make sure that you do well in the USMLE. So go right now, smashusmle.com, and sign up for the course. But wait, let's say you don't want to pay just a one-time fee. You can do installment payments. Whether you want the 4-week live hybrid masterclass or you want the self-paced course, you can do for the 3 months. You can get started now for just 2 easy payments of $299 for the 3 months package. For the 6 months, you get it for $399, 2 easy payments, or 2 easy payments of $499 for our lifetime package each, okay? And you can buy the course right now at smashusmle.com. Listen, if you have any questions, you still try to figure out exactly how to get through the boards, we are the program for you. 95% of our students are IMGs. We are committed to international medical graduates. And I tell you guys all the time, I am not in the business of making you a test taker. No, we're in the business of making you an excellent physician. You see, the knowledge you're going to gain from our course is not for you to go and take the USMLE and pass and get high scores. Yeah, that's good. That's the benefit. But the most important thing is when you walk into the office in the future, when you walk into residency on day 1, I want you to be equipped with the knowledge that you're going to need to be able to take care of those patients at the bedside. What you're going to learn in the course, it's not for just the USMLE, it's for the boards and beyond. It's for you to be able to apply this concept when you see patients at the bedside. Listen, I work in the emergency department every day. And believe me when I tell you, I use all these concepts. A lot of the things I teach you that you learn are the things I'm doing at the bedside. Whether it's I'm treating a patient with atrial fibrillation, so something that's, somebody that's got, trauma, or somebody's got, I'm putting in chest tube, intubating patients, right? I'm putting centralizing patients, doing an arthrocentesis, ruling out septic arthritis. Like all these differential diagnoses that you're learning when you go through the program, I do them every day. because I work in emergency medicine and I get to see everything under the planet. So there's nothing that I've seen. G6P deficiency, Marfan syndrome, aortic dissection, name it. I have seen it all, right? Hereditary angioedema, like patients with elevated bradykinin level because they're taking ACE inhibitors. Like, you know, I mean, it's just phenomenal when you start applying this concept and saving people's lives. And nothing, I'm telling you guys, nothing beats learning this information now, getting to residency and applying and taking care of people's lives. Like the most joy I have in my life is going to work every day, knowing that the knowledge that I have in my brain is able to save somebody else's life. From someone that has asthma, that you're giving an ipratropium and albuterol and giving them magnesium and giving them epinephrine, and you can see and knowing how the effects of these drugs work in the human body, it is phenomenal. Like it is just a gift. Like you always feel like, wow, I'm so privileged to practice medicine in the most advanced country in the world. And that's what we offer you here. So go right now, smashusmle.com, buy the course, join the program, join the SmartMD WhatsApp group, and let's crush this exam. I want you guys to smash the USMLE so that when I see you next time, you're walking in and calling me and saying, listen, doc, I made it. I'm going to be a resident next year. All right. Now, if you guys have any questions, I am going to put here my email. I think you guys have my email already. And if you have any questions from our staff, just type, send us an email to admin@smashusmle.com. You guys have been super awesome as usual. And if you guys need me for any questions, if you want to bring anyone on the show next time, anything you need, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm here for you guys. I am committed to the process. All I ask for you guys is give me 120% or nothing. That's all I want you to do. You give me 120% of your effort, of your dedication, of everything you've got. The USMLE is just an exam. It's just a test. That's all it is. Don't look like a monster. It is just an exam. The most important thing you need to do is get mastery, know what to test, how to test it, go in there and smash the test. But when you walk out, you want to walk out being a better doctor than what you were a few months before you started the program compared to when you actually finish. And till I see you guys again, thanks for coming on the show tonight. I will be bringing another special guest to come and share their story with us. And thank you for coming to our webinar. Till I see you all next time, you guys have an awesome day. Bye-bye. I'm just gonna put my email because I think someone is asking here. All right, you guys have an awesome day. Bye-bye.